Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels, and we'll get to the JRC in a moment, but first, the disclaimers and the trigger warnings. If you're unfamiliar with the Stop the Sharks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, pertinent links are going to be right there in the description box. Please, hopefully, the labels that are corresponding to those links should help you know what you're clicking on when you're clicking on it. So if you want to do your own deep dive into the JRC or follow along with anything that we're going over on this channel, please feel absolutely welcome to do so. Trigger warnings. Now folks, we do have this channel marked not for kids for a reason. We do use profanity. We speak on dark subjects, so if your child is 16 and younger and watching this, parental supervision is very much advised. It's also advised because of the fact that when we talk about places like the Judge Rothberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. So I just want to get that trigger warning out there. These are some very dark topics, and just kind of keep that in mind, okay? Alright, moving on to our third bullet point. And I'm not going to say I'm going to make it short because that usually tends to be famous last words. So, at the same time, the FDA in the proposed ban unquestionably credits the views of 4 anonymous commentaries alleging adverse events from ESDs from commentators whose accounts and motivations cannot be verified or challenged. Bro, we're going to take this back again so that you, JRC, can understand and comprehend this. This is not a regular court case. This is not you getting sued by the parents of one of the survivors of your hellhole holding you to account. This has specifically to do with your GED device. Ever hear about whistleblowers? Yes, well, that applies to survivors who come forward with their stories too. You see, if an individual wants to give their testimony regards to a device that they were forced to wear by you, JRC, they are absolutely allowed to do so. But on the flip side, if, say, one of the parents you had come forward on your behalf decided that they wanted to be anonymous and simply send in through way of written word or to give their testimony to you without having their credentials revealed, they are absolutely also able to do so. Nobody owes you their identity. Let me say that again for the morons in the back. They do not owe you their identity. In particular, JRC, because you are known to have extreme vindictive streaks. And we all know for a fact that if these individuals gave their names, that you would do to them exactly what you did in regards to Cheryl McCollins, Andre McCollins, Jennifer Masumba, and Greg Miller, and pretty much every single other person that has come and shared testimony in regards to what you get up to in regards with that GED. Among the other despicable and horrifying things that you do to those kids under the absolutely asinine terminology of aversive therapy. Okay? they are allowed to remain anonymous. They are also allowed to be able to share with the FDA panel their experience with having been forced to wear the GED device. Because whether you like it or not, that is pertinent information for the subject at hand here. We are debating in regards to this specific device that has been shown on numerous occasions to cause second and third degree burns, amongst many other things. Correct? Yes. These individuals are those who were forced to wear said device, which means their experience in regards to wearing that device and how it affected them is pertinent to the subject at hand. Their identities are not subject in regards to what we're talking about here, because we're not talking about somebody suing you for being evil, sadistic bastards. Okay? Now, if that were the case, perhaps you would have an argument in regards to the revealing of their identity. However, this is not that type of case. Their identity is irrelevant to the subject at hand. Their experience being forced to wear that device is extremely relevant to the subject at hand. If they ask the FDA to keep their names anonymous so that they can remain safe from your vindictive, evil asses, they have every right to do so. Just as if one of the parents or one of the students you had come forward for your side said and asked the FDA that they would like to be anonymous in case there's any blowback, they would be granting that even if they sided with you as well. Okay? This is not a regular court case. Nobody owes you identities. But it can't be checked, challenged, or verified. So apparently ER documentation is not considered a situation being verified or challenged. Apparently the fact that their testimonies match the individuals who did come forward with their names waiving HIPAA rights just to have the bravery to make that testimony to the FDA panel so that they could have access to those pertinent medical records in regards to injuries from the device. When you have individuals anonymous, yes, maybe they don't have receipts, but when their testimonies match all the evidence at hand, and it matches the exact testimonies for the individuals who did come forward in their own names, then yes, they have every right to be taken seriously. And if their stories are matching the individuals who did come forward with their names, the ones that you actually did challenge and try to argue, then you in all actuality did have your chance to verify or challenge the stories, because all the stories are the same, and those stories are backed up by ER documentation, video surveillance footage, ER photographs of injuries received in regards to the devices. You see how that works? You can't say, but it's biased and not fair, when the fact of the matter is, had anybody that came forward for you on your end asked for anonymity too, then they also would have been granted that very same protection. Nobody's being unfair to you, JRC. You can't call it unfair just because somebody doesn't agree with you. I mean, literally, Princess Bride quote here, spoilers. You keep saying that word unfair and bias. I don't think that word means what you keep insinuating that it means. Okay? Anyone that would have asked for the same treatment, asked to remain anonymous while submitting their testimonies, even if it is an individual that stands with you and was defending your side, if they asked to remain anonymous, then they would have also been provided that same protection. And you can scream your lungs off until you're blue in the face, JRC. But that's the facts. You were not treated unfairly. You are a 3-year-old throwing a temper tantrum, insisting that anybody that doesn't agree with you is unfair and doesn't know what they're doing. Now me, I'm sitting here on the side of reason, logic, and compassion, when literally the rest of not just the national, but international medical model stands against you. It's very telling. And when they're agreeing with us, because a good majority of the time, we are always at each other's throats, constantly, on various different points. If we are all aligning, if there is an agreement, it's an act of God at that point. Okay? When ASAN and autism speaks, stand together over anything. Just saying, you know? Just saying. But what about their motivations? They could want money. This is not a court case. JRC. You're not being sued. All of these individuals who came forward were not paid to do so. As a matter of fact, they had to come to Massachusetts using their own money to come before the FDA panel and make their testimony. They also had to cover the costs of gathering all pertinent medical information in regards to the subject at hand. Okay? Nobody's making money off of this. You are not being sued. So what would be the motivation? Well, they just hate us. Okay? And JRC, why would they hate you? If they're not getting money from it, if it's not like setting them up for like multi-million-dollar careers, which I've done advocacy now, folks, for over 20 years. Believe me, if doing this sort of work was going to make me a multi-millionaire, I'm pretty sure by the age of 40, that would have already happened by now. Just saying. You would all know too, I would still be doing these videos, but it would have a much prettier beach setting with me on the sand with a laptop and my cat, and probably multiple stacks of books all around me. Okay? What are these motivations that you think these individuals had to spend a whole lot of their own money and take a whole lot of risk to come up there and testify at the FDA panel in regards to that device? Revenge. Okay. JRC, why would they want revenge? Why would they want revenge? It's not the argument you think it is. It in fact sticks you that much deeper in the hole. Especially considering we don't just have ER documentations and photos, we have video surveillance footage. And I'll be quite honest, if that were me, yeah, there would be no place on planet Earth where I wouldn't be able to hunt you down, find you, and wreck you if any of you all tried to pull that insanely evil shit with me. I am my mother's daughter. Trust me on that one. I wouldn't fault anyone, literally anyone, who has gone through the horrific so-called treatment that they put those kids through who got angry as hell. I'd be more concerned if they didn't. And on that note, folks, we're going to go ahead and close it out for this evening. And since I started late, we're just going to take care of this one video for now, which means, yay, extra video tomorrow, send hell. We don't get very many views on this channel, folks, and the few we do tend to get removed from time to time. So if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and please don't forget to hit the comments. I do appreciate your time. As always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. Now, it is time for the next 2 to 3 hours of Tiffany Does Absolutely Nothing. No internet, no reading the news on what new crap the current GOP is trying to do to wreck even more disability rights. Just a whole lot of staring at silent films with joy, and then reading until I pass out. I love you all, everyone. I will see you next time. Don't forget to make sure you're still subscribed, because they will remove subscriptions every once in a while. And I know that's kind of hard to keep up because I'm beginning to diversify on more topics. Just please keep an eye on it, alright? Bye-bye now.